it was before the chocolate dream that you had the 3 animal dreams. Is that right?
That's it. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Well, let me put these in. Why don't we summarize the animal dreams, and we'll go into them a little. I mean, we'll just what we'll do is we'll just read the animal dreams, and then we'll read the dream about the sacred marriage, or the Heiros Gamos, and then we'll try to amplify that one first. Does that sound okay?
Yeah, that sounds good.
All right. Hey, Gary.
Hi, Gary.
Yeah, Gary, what we're going to do is, just because, you know, Kat's dream is so, you know, unusual for her. The fact that she's having a dream about what, you know, could be a sacred wedding or something. We're going to kind of just, but I thought before we do that, I mean, she had the dream about the this divine food that was infected, and the animus told her that she should, what are you doing? But she knew she had to find the source of the infection and remove it from her divine food. But what I thought we'd do, she has 3 animal dreams. We'll just read them, then we'll go right to the wedding dream. And
do we have those available for the chat, or?
Yeah, I'm going to put them in the chat here just a second.
Great. That always helps.
This is the first dream, and it's about the tiger. Why don't you read that one, Kat? Let me see. Do you want me to read it for you, Kat?
Yeah, actually, I've just got to go through my journal. Otherwise, do you know what I mean? There's going to be a lot of.
Okay, well, I can certainly. Did you want me to read it, or do you want to read it?
You can read it if you.
All right. Well, let me just go through. The first one is now we're just going to read these for context. We're not going to necessarily amplify this one. We're going to just read them, because she had these 3 elemental dreams, and then she had the dream about the divine food. Then she had the wedding dream. So here's the first one. There is a tiger in the kitchen. I'm standing in front of a wheat field. Ooh. The wheat field looks brownish, but it's shiny with a coppery, luminous quality. Okay, that's, you know, so sort of metallic. I am in a very large house. Mom is with me, and she is cooking in the kitchen. The kitchen is at the back of the house by the back door. The house is a bungalow, which is a house on 1 level. All the furniture is white with green furnishings. This is all so symbolic. I am mopping the floor. All of a sudden, a tiger comes bounding in and rubbing against our knees and hugs us. At the back door, there is a knock. Mums opens the door, and we see Dad. He's just come home from work. He's got his work clothes on and his luminous yellow jacket. Dad doesn't know that the tiger is here. The tiger bounds out of the house and greets my dad. I start to panic a bit as I see that my dad and the tiger are both playing. However, I see Dad pull the tiger's tail. See the tiger's face begin to turn. I think, oh my God, fear rises in me. I'm going to have to get between the 2 of them. Then the tiger was friendly and playful again. Said to Dad, you shouldn't have done that. He said, like, what? I think he's unfazed. And I think that is a close one. Pulling the tiger's tail, you know, basically. Okay, now that's the first dream, and it's very, you know, it reminds me of one of my wife's mother's dreams. You know, just this wonderful dream that she had after her daughter died. But now here's the second one. Okay. Now, did these all occur at one night?
No, this was over a course of a week, so they were
Course of a
like
week.
one every other night or something like that.
No. Just in a sequence. And you know, the fact that they are all these, it kind of reminds me of your dream too, Gary, with the 4 symbols. Now the next one is about a bluebird. Okay. All right. Now my bluebird friend pays me a visit. Wake up, you are free. Whew. Hi, Dawn. We're just starting on the dream. We read the tiger dream, which is a one that's right down your alley. And I'll put it back in the chat again, but we're just going to read these 3 animal dreams, and then we're going to go to her really, really big dream, which is about a wedding. So my bluebird friend pays me a visit. Wake up, you are free. I am in my bedroom. It is sunny outside. I hear a tapping at my bedroom window. I open the curtains and see something blue at the windowsill. This is the way I always see bluebirds, just this flash of blue. You know, it's like cobalt, and it just is so astonishing. I take a closer look at the tapping as the tapping continues, and I see it's a blue budgie, okay, which is a blue parakeet, okay. I am amazed. What is this blue budgie doing outside my bedroom window? The scenery is of a peachy color, okay, and I think to myself, I had a bird like that a long time ago. Now, what is my bluebird friend pays me a visit? Wake up, you are free. Where did the wake up, you are free come from?
That's the dream title that I gave it.
Okay, and so there's an idea of wake up, you are free. So that's sort of your feeling after the dream was over. Wake up, you are free. And I think to myself, I had a bird like that a long time ago. Now the blue aspect is, you know, one of usually of it usually represents something to do with. Now I'm not saying all the time, but it usually has something to do with the thinking function. You know, but let's just keep going, and we will definitely. Over time want to go over each one of these. Okay, and then this is the third one. I am outside, it's dusk. Now this was you described this one, Kat, and it was so beautiful. The sky is of lilac and blue, so it's sort of a light purple and blue, you know, and the blue. The lilac is somewhat of a combination of blue and red, which would be thinking and feeling. Now, I am in the street, and isn't that a wonderful combination, thinking and feeling, that sort of lilac color? I am outside, it's dusk, the sky is of lilac and blue color. I'm in a street, and all the buildings are very dark gray, almost black in color. The atmosphere is still. I see a full luminous moon. I see lots of blackbirds flying around. I'm walking near a high block of flats, apartment building. I am with Mom, and I turn to face her. I see that a large blackbird was flying around her and head. I look closer and see that it is in fact a giant bat. And somehow it settled on a perch next to her. Its back and head, even though it's black, have an orange tinge to it. I say to her, it's a good sign. It's a sign of rebirth. So beautiful. I mean, the idea of the black bat, you know, is usually somewhat sinister. So are black birds, but the fact that this black bat addresses her again at the head level of the head, you know, the thinking or the higher level in the woman, and it addresses her there, and then it then is now her spirit animal companion, you know, and it is next to her. Okay. All right. Now, the next one we'll want you to read, Pat, because this is the one we really want to talk about. Okay. I just read those first three because they just preceded the chocolate dream. Hi, Azine and Ava.
Hi, Azine.
I was about to call you.
Oh, why? What's wrong?
I
Oh,
couldn't
because
get
I
it.
was ignoring you. I do that a lot. I wish, Gary, you're going to have to show us how to set up everyone here as an admin. So we can, so I don't do that. Okay. Let's see. I think this is it. Okay. Now, what we did is we just, you know, we first had the dream with Kat. Oh, Ava's coming in again. We just had the dream that Kat had about the divine food that was mixed with an infection, and she needed to take whatever was infecting the divine food and remove it so that the divine food would be divine and not be infected by some negative aspect of consciousness. And yet the animus whose back is to us and is in a black cloak is skeptical of what we're doing and says, what are you doing? But we know that we must do it. Okay, so I just put this in again, Ava. Now, we had three dreams, one about a tiger that seems to be playing with Kat and her mother and father, although he's getting close to making it dangerous. And then the second one was the bluebird comes to a visit and sets her free. It is actually a blue parakeet. And this was a bird that she had before, you know, so it's that's something we could spend the whole time talking about. Okay, so now what we're really going to do, we just had the final one was about the colors of the sky. They were lilac and blue. Black birds started flying around. One started flying around her mother's head, and then it settled on a branch next to her, and it had orange on its head, and she says, that this is what the dream ego says to her mother. This is a good sign. It's a sign of rebirth, you know. So now we're going to go into the next wedding. This next one. Kat, why don't you read this one?
Okay, so I've entitled the dream My Wedding Day, and I was excited about this one because I rarely have dreams about weddings or romance or anything like that. So I was very excited about this. So I see myself, well, first of all, I'm looking down and someone is in front of me. Then in the dream, I see myself looking up at an older white man. He's like a bit of a silver fox, you know, he's quite sort of handsome and strong and everything. And he's wearing a black tux. I then see I am in a wedding dress and I'm carrying a bouquet of pink and light orange roses. I see I'm in a corridor of the walls are light pink and peachy in color. The doors and the skirting boards and the door frames are dark brown. The man kisses me on the forehead and excitedly pulls me along as we rush off to get married. I feel happy. At that point, I woke up and, you know, whatever. And then there was another part of the dream. So I didn't actually see the ceremony. The next bit is I am sitting at a very long table. There are other tables further down the end of the room. I am with other people. I see red tablecloths, red table decorations like beads and things like that, and red flowers, red glass goblets and red napkins, and the plates and serving platters are brilliant white and shiny. And that was the end of the dream.
So now the dreams about the cobalt blue budgie, the colors of the sky, the kind of a lilac, which is sort of a combination of and then there was a peachy color before in one of the three dreams. But let's just go through this one again. I mean, the fact that the colors are showing up so vividly, and consciousness wants to is very aware of them, or at least mentions them, is very important, because colors represent feeling in the dream. I mean, this aura of the dream. I mean, you could have a dream just about colors, and it would be it could tell a story, because the colors all are Gary archetypal. They all have some kind of a symbolism. So I mean, it's almost like listening to music, to see the colors come up in whatever format they have. So let's look at the sequence of the colors and okay. My wedding day. This is the wedding day of the being who was born the day that Kat was born, and with her soul. And now the psyche is sending this creature that came into the universe, this dream. This creature, this unique being, wedding day. Okay, now we are looking down. Someone is in front of me, so it's something below us or something. I then, in the dream, see myself looking up at an older white man who is wearing a black tux, sort of the silver fox, she says. But what it would really, seems to be, it is the wise old man. It is the self. It is the scent. It also could be the animus, a very, very positive animus. I would say that's probably more likely. And then I see that I am in a wedding dress. Okay, so we don't know really how we got it on, but we're wearing it. The dream, isn't this wonderful? The dream is presenting us. We look up. This is amazing, just to look up, and you're looking down. You look up. Who's before you? This silver man, the silver man of spirit, and he is wearing a black tux. He is prepared for a ritual of union. Okay, now we look down. We are prepared for the ritual of union, and we are carrying a bouquet. Where did we get this? Of a very interesting mixture of colors. Pink, which is the mixture of red and white. So it's the mixture of the rubedo and the albedo. So it's the mixture of spirit and living beings. Okay, and then there are light orange roses. Okay, now this would be the mixture of gold of the treasure hard to attain, and feeling. Now just notice how often red shows up. And I am in a corridor with light pink, peachy color. So it's sort of a red, white, and gold red. And the doors and the skirting boards and the door frames are dark brown. They are the color of earth. This is all very symbolic. Now, this man who is in the garb of the union with our being, you know, this sacred union within of this person who was born into the universe. He kisses me on my forehead. I mean, he's sort of like, and excitedly pulls me along as we rush off to get married. And we feel very happy. Okay. You know, it's just, it is really, you know, the sort of this idea of, you know, Emma Young in in her book, Animus and Anima, you know, said there were 4 kinds of animus. You know, one is the one who provides the cow. You know, that's just the one who is both biologically gives us child, and then you know, provides food, but nothing else. Okay. The second one is the dark man from across the sea, you know, the one who sweeps us off our feet and pulls. He's okay. See, now remember, these are set to Faust is trying to start. He's translating the Gospel of John, and he says the first he can't decide how to start it. And he says, in the beginning was the power. That's the man who provides the cow. In the beginning was the deed. That's this man of adventure who sweeps us off our feet. In the beginning was the word. That's what it actually is. And that's the man of Logos, the man of Logos. And then the fourth one is in the beginning was the meaning. Okay. Now that is this guy. He sort of combines the deed and the meaning. Okay. And he is an active force. He kisses us, addresses us with great intimacy and affection. And he pulls us off to we are going to be one with this inner idea of wholeness. Really, it's an inner idea of wholeness. Now, the dream is interrupted. Okay, now we're sort of just breathless by this dream, so we want to go to sleep. I've had this happen. Okay, now where are we now? We're sitting at a very long table, and there are other tables farther down at the end of the room. This is the feast, the wedding feast. Now, when Jung had his near-death experiences, he dreamt of 3 weddings and 3 wedding feasts. When he was, you know, the day before his mother passed away, this was in 1921, I believe, he was interrupted by a wedding procession. Okay. One of the things is that after his mother, Emily Priceworth, passed away, it was also another idea of Jung that he had to stop work on the Red Book, along with what he got from Richard Wilhelm on the golden flower. When he saw alchemy, and it was so close to what the visions he'd had in the Red Book, he knew that he had to go. But the idea of stopping work on the Red Book was not stopping the work. This inner work that he was doing with the Red Book now was transformed into building a house of stone. And so he was going to, his Red Book was now going to be in stone. And he somewhat relates this to his mother passing away. But anyway, there was the idea of the 3 wedding feasts when he was about to die, and then this wedding feast when his mother died. I'm sitting at a very long table, and there are other tables further down the row, the end of the room. Now, isn't this wonderful that we wake up, we go back to sleep, and the psyche, what compassion and it's showing here. We are with other people, we see red tablecloths. You know, the color of feeling, but also of living beings. You know, Heiros is about living beings. Red table decorations, red glass goblets, red napkins. The plates and serving platters are brilliant, white, and shiny. Okay, so it's a combination of the absolutely what there are no words or systems of thought that can contain the feeling of being alive, of what it means to be alive. And that's the red aspect. And then the plates and serving platters are brilliant, white, and shiny. So where will the food come from? It will come from the spiritual aspect. And where will the food go? It will go into the feeling aspect. Now, this is just, and all this has to do with the union of inner and outer, of feminine and masculine all together. Okay, now let's just go through it. Gary, what do you think of this dream?
One of the things, well, I like what you said. One of the things that really struck me, though, is the amount of feeling there is in each of these dreams. A lot of times, like my dreams, I'm kind of detached from it. It's happening, but I'm detached. But in all of these, there's a lot of feeling. One of the things that I noticed is that the color orange, it's there in the wheat.
The wheat. Yeah, I'm going to put that into the chat. Go ahead.
And then, with the budgie, the sky, the background, the bat has the stripe on his back around the head. Tiger stripes are what? Orange. And then the wedding bouquet, that has the orange flowers as well. And so, and the colors are, they're all associated with feeling. Like the red of being alive. And I'm not sure, what the orange would be, but it's like each of these has a particular context for like some sort of awakening. And to me, it feels like, the color is like an indicator of that presence.
I'm just throwing this out there that orange is the combination of inner gold and feeling.
Oh, well, that even makes it better because, each of these having so much feeling. And then, birds are always, and we have two. We have one from, from more of like the solar and one from the lunar, one's a
Yes.
daytime bird and one's a nighttime bird, and so you have both the aspects of the sun and the moon. It's,
The blue budgie or the parakeet can talk. It's
yeah,
the
and it
color
can
of the
talk,
thinking
which makes it,
function.
which kind of makes it, which also kind of gives it, a bit of a divine aspect as well.
Yeah, it's definitely, well, I'm not saying definitely, I'm just throwing that out there, that it's, the color of the thinking function, and it's also is one associated with logos, because it can speak, and it's addressing us at our window, and it will set us free, and what the haunting part of it is, where she says, I think to myself, I had a bird like this a long time ago.
Yeah, sort of the awakening function.
Right.
But it's just the whole thing is just very experiential, a lot of feeling, and so to me it's various things coming up, awakening. That's how it strikes me, and then the red, the aliveness in the end, I mean, that's wonderful. So that's what I've gotten out of it so far.
And you add to this, I mean, these 4 dreams that preceded it, and then you have this one. I mean, it's sort of the crown of those 4 dreams, What do you, how do you look at this, Azine? What do you see that we haven't seen, or what do you think?
I think your books, you're right on. But one thing that I can add is the astrological energy that we are in right now. It's a combination of Mars and Venus, Sun and Moon. And they said that, I was just reading before the meeting starts, that the dreams that we see during this time, it's either about a circle that started 30 years ago, and now we have a chance to choose another pattern, another circle in a different way. So some of the dreams that people are telling me, it's just about 30 years ago, when they were in politics, when they were active and stuff like that. For me, it's the time that I graduated from dentistry and I chose not to do that. And so they are either from 30 years ago, or they are giving us a understanding or direction for the next 30 years. So what I see here, if I want to see this dream from that point of view, to me, it's about the integration with the animals for cats. The dream that I had last night was I woke up in my body, it was a somatic vision. My left side, I knew that I had child stuff under the pillow, and my right hand was puer and Xanax. So I woke up and there's this difference in my body, somatic feeling, and in my brain. And I knew immediately that my task is to balance these 2 sides in my life. So that's what I get. It's weddings are always good dreams. They're a sign of integration with animals. And I think all the stuff you said is right. Everything is correct from the alchemic point of view. But I also want to say that maybe it's about direction or purpose in life for her.
Yeah, go ahead. Anything else you thinking?
No, just the energy of this time is really, and I
Yeah.
just suggest everybody study. I don't know anything about astrology, but it's really, really weird time. So we
Yeah.
have to know what's going on.
What's going on? I mean, there's a lot of weird things going on.
Yeah.
But that is very important. I mean, every one of these dreams is full of energy, full of vital, vibrant energy.
They're alive creatures, you
Yes,
know.
but the colors too, and the emotion
Yeah.
that is in there. I said to her, it's a good sign. It's a sign of rebirth, you know. And my bluebird friend pays me a visit. Wake up, you are free. Okay, and then the first one is this visit by this godlike being, you know, the cat, which is you know what this you know, this is a dream that Dawn has occasionally of the cat. Is I think she's had 2 or 3 dreams about cats. Ava, do you
I'm
did
sorry,
you want to go ahead?
to say something? It's really important not to lose these aspects of dream. Sometimes we just ruin this dream by interpreting it, you know. And I really liked what you said, that this dream is about colors. It's about experiencing colors in your body, and no matter what they mean in alchemy, just like this experience, somatic experience of these vivid colors that we have in our dreams, and they are alive and full of energy. So sometimes it's about the experience, not even about the interpretation.
Yeah, the experience is there's an understanding in the experience.
Somatic understanding.
Yeah, something is, we understand something because of that experience. Now the idea here is these dreams are wonderful combinations of emotion, which is expressed both in the colors and in actual emotion. In the instinctive realm, which is represented by the animals, the instinctive realm, which would be, you know, something to do with the life force, the body, that aspect of us that is very, very closely related to the Great Mother and to nature. And then the third aspect, in most of the dreams, there is a word or two which are very, very now in the first dream, there really isn't any dialogue except the end where the father pulls the tiger's tail. It looks like there might be an incident, and we tell the father that you shouldn't have done that. And so it's something like you know, the black hooded man in the dream about the chocolate. But that's what I'm saying. I think what you're saying, Azine, is this connection of the colors are of great, the experience let's say you see a Renoir painting. You know, it's just funny, and I don't know why, but you know, the French did not like the Impressionists that much, and yet who liked them? All these Chicago railroad barons. You know, for some reason they loved the Impressionists, so they bought up most of the Renoirs and the Matisses and the Monets, you know, and they're in the Art Institute at the University of Chicago. And you go in there into those rooms where they'll have a mural-sized Renoir or Monet, and it is absolutely it's just the colors alone throw you into a place, a magical place. So, and the colors seem to be a symphony. I mean, they're a symphony of the eye. You know, Paris is the city of light. You know, I mean, it's just this city, not just of light, but of color. You know, so that's the aspect of the color side of it. But then there is these instinctive, godlike animals: the cobalt blue budgie, the tiger, and then the bat with the orange head. And each one of them represent a great transition. One, the bluebird sets you free. Two, the sense of the rebirth of the mother, you know, or it appears to be that it's her spirit animal. It goes up beside her, so it has a rebirth of her, the mother archetype within her. And then the first one is almost needs no definition when you have a tiger come in the room. I mean, just the bristling energy. My wife's sister, I keep trying to find out a lot about her. She died actually, I think, 45 years ago today. Okay, it was on March 1st, 1977, and you know, she's a great mystery to everybody because she was so charismatic. And you know, I asked one of her friends, "Tell me about Heidi," and she says, "Everything." And I said, "Yes." And she just says, "Well, let me tell you one thing. It was great to walk into a room with her because you didn't even exist. She just sucked all the oxygen out of the room. You know, she was just this wonderfully charming, sort of flirty, seductive, you know, all that kind of stuff. But anyway, so we still haven't got to the wedding dream, the meaning of it yet. But Ava, what do you think? What is your thoughts? And Ava, you always say something that I completely miss. What is it that we completely miss?
I want to have a kind of dream work when we are not recording. But
Oh,
I'm
yes.
so impressed I'm awake because it's I feel so happy to hear this dream, of course. And I am thinking about the last dream Kat had about a chapel. It was so, that's why I was awake this night too, I think, because I was waiting for her to tell something about, and it seems that already what is it? I can't find the word. That dream is before this dream, and it seems to be
hint that it's coming. This next one.
Yes.
It's sort of a it sets the stage for the next one.
Yes, and it feels like a holy dream, almost. It's holy as whole, and because it's every color of importance. It's black, and it's even the lists to the floor is named. It's brown as the doors, and the kind of it's black, white, every color, purple, pink, peach, and so on.
We didn't
Red.
even need to know the details of it that much. It was just the colors alone riveted my attention.
Yes.
And
the feeling of the dream is so it's inexpressible. I can't find words for it.
Well, as soon as we get done with Kat's dream, Ava, I'm going to turn off the recording and we'll start on your dream, if that's okay. But I'd like to hear Kat tell us about your dream, and then let's go back into the last one. But I want you to tell us your feelings about it.
Well,
I also want to if Kat have some kind of feeling about the older dream, if there is some connections for her, if I may wish to.
what dream are you wanting to know
Uh,
more about? Sorry.
Was that the one about the shepherd, or which one did you say, Ava?
Shepherd.
A chapel. It was a stone. It was a chapel. I
Chapel.
remember a stone chapel.
Chapel.
Chapel. Oh, the
Yes.
alchemist and the separating of the chocolate and the
Yes, right.
puff. Well, these dreams, the animal dreams, happened before that.
Yeah.
So so when I had the animal dreams, I was quite surprised. It's not that I don't have animal dreams, but to have them like, you know, in the same kind of week like that and being very distinctive, I thought, oh my God. And the color orange as well was very prominent. And for me, the color orange, I don't normally have that much orange in my dreams or whatever, but I wondered if it was something about a sort of self-confidence, a self-empowerment sort of building in me, if that's, you know, if we've taken the color orange. And then the fact that then I had to literally separate this chocolate from this very old place. It was very old, and
Castle.
and it doesn't matter. What happened, what mattered is the fact, well, no one else was going to do it. I knew that. I had to do it. And whether the bloke was saying, well, why are you doing that? It's kind of irrelevant. It was like, I have to do it. So I didn't immediately link it with those animal dreams or the color orange in the form of self-empowerment or whatever, but the fact that I had to do it, the feeling was overwhelming in the dream, and it was like I didn't care what anyone said. I didn't care if anyone thought I was mad. That's just the way it is. So for me, I think all those then put together was very meaningful and powerful, because for a lot of my life, I really did care about what people thought, or what I should do, what I shouldn't do, etc., etc., whether it's teachers or parents, or you going down a spiritual path or whatever, it's what those teachers told you and blah, blah, blah. And again, if somebody asked me what I'd like to do, you know, a couple of years ago, I couldn't actually tell you what I liked unless it involved other people in some way. Does that make sense? So I thought it just in itself was very powerful, because as I said in that dream with I'll call it the alchemist and the chocolate, it was like, I don't care, I have a task to do, just don't get in my face kind of thing about it. And then don't even bother me with whatever. It's just like, I have to do it. And so then having the wedding dream, because as I said, I don't normally have those types of dreams at all. I was like, oh my God, wow. I was like, so something was definitely reconciling in me, and I agree with what everyone has contributed, and even to what Azim said, which is about something about 30 odd years ago, which I would have been 16, 17, not knowing what to do with my life, what direction, or just going into things because not, you know, jobs or whatever, because there was that there at the time and you've got to do something. and I never really enjoyed any of it. So I do agree with about a reconciling. So I start to have my own path, or whatever starts to reveal or open up for me, and whatever that looks like, whatever that is, I really don't care what other people say. It's right for me. And there's obviously a lot more to it than that, but you know, brass tacks kind of level, that's what it means to me. And it means that there has been a massive shift in the psyche. Whereas before I used to get so overwhelmed with dreams and been threatened and Christ knows what, and been taken over by whatever, you know, and having like lots of sleep paralysis and things like that. There is a reconciliation with the consciousness and, well, consciousness, unconscious, conscious. There is a reconciliation, and I feel in my body since those dreams so much more peaceful. I just feel so much more calm. I feel more self-assured. I feel quite good. But like, whereas before, a couple of years ago, whatever, there was just a constant crippling anxiety. Am I doing the right thing? Am I thinking the right thing? Am I doing this right? Am I doing that right? You know, the constant judgments, the constant criticisms, or whatever, myself and obviously other people, whatever. And I just feel at this moment, just, you know, it's nice to feel this level of ease and just feel, it feels like, and I know it sounds silly, but it just feels like, you know what, this has been a safe place to land. You know, it's, whereas before it didn't feel like safe, but now it just feels like this is a safe place to land. And that's all I can say, really.
Let me just try to put a little context in, because I think Ava was hitting at something there. Is we had the dream about that we are the gypsy. You know, we are the person who is a wanderer, you know, and wandering. And then we have these instinctive dreams that are linked with feeling, and each one apparently with a liberating or rebirth aspect in that. Then we have the dream, and this is you already said it, Kat, is before all that things you were saying, worried about what other people think, and you were and critique of you. That's the negative animus, okay? And here the negative animus is has his back to us. We are doing the inner work. We are finding clarity and order through the feminine principle. Now, at that point, you know, Von Franz would tell us we're ready for the higher animus. Okay, we cannot integrate the higher animus until we separate what's infected from what is most vital, the divine food and that infected aspect. So what we really are doing there is we have integrated the shadow. You know, once we have found the root of this infection in our in the divine aspect of ourselves, the divine food that comes to us from psyche, and we've removed the shadow, the infecting thing that made it unusable to us. And then the animus is still skeptical, and we say, this is the only way the higher animus can come in. He needs to be in service to the self-confident feminine principle. He can't dominate her. Okay? And we say we must do this. Okay, what dream follows that? Okay, after we have separated out the infected aspect and we have told the negative animus, we don't care what you think. We must do this. So in other words, his skeptical attitude, his critical attitude is not relevant here. We must do that. It's not even a relevant criticism anymore. And so following that, we look up and we see, you know, in the beginning was the meaning. We see that person, this wise old man, and he is wearing the garments of union with the wise old man. He comes to us and addresses us. We've already, and we don't even know how or why, but we are already wearing because we are ready. That's what I think, the fact that we already have a wedding dress, already have a pink and light orange bouquet with us. We are ready for the, and so is that in the beginning was the meaning person, the wise old man. And he addresses us with great intimacy and complete giving to us completely. He kisses us on the forehead. Okay, so this is a union of mind, spirit, and body. It is not a union of a carnal union. It is more of a union of the higher element. Okay, kisses us on the forehead, and then he excitedly, that wise old man, he says, finally. Now, the idea is why it's finally, is because the previous dream, as Ava mentioned, in the stone castle with the chocolate, that was, you know, from that, you had that dream, then you had this dream. And then we have to wake up. I think that's a synchronistic event, Kat, and you go back to bed, and now it is a dream about a great feast. And the feast is between the living being within us, that's represented by the red, and then the serving platters of the inner world, which are white and shining, so as if they are lit from within, you know. Why don't we let's hear what everybody else has to say. But I'll tell you, one thing that kind of annoys me is after this is all over, suddenly something hits me, because like Gary, I just was saying last week, that to me, I thought, you know, the two wheelchair people, that's my shadow. You know, this being who never walks on earth, he does anything but put his feet on the earth. And here he has some kind of a mechanical contrivance. Anyway, Gary, what do you think of the, can you add anything to this wonderful experience?
No, I think it was an experiential dream, and, you know, the colors show, you know, this development, the work with the removal of the infection from the chocolate. That was just like, wow, you know, separation of the shadow. That's, I don't know, it's all wonderful.
How about you?
Such feeling.
Yeah. Oh yeah, such feeling. I mean, it's just, see, now this is the thing. I might dream about color sometime, but I am not a being of color. I mean, a being, a feminine being who is, everything about her is has to do with color. I mean, she's, where I go wear black, she'll wear anything, some aspect of color that is completely, you know, it expresses who she is within, you know. So I'd say this dream and how it is so related to the color world is something that I don't think I could ever have, you know. Okay, Azine, do you have any comments about it? More thoughts? And Dawn, you're always
I just
welcome.
realized something really interesting. You were talking about paintings and dreams. And it reminded me of a dream that I had almost 10 years ago. In that dream, I had paintings of, I forgot the name, René Magritte. And then when I woke up, I immediately wrote a poem. And I want to share this dream with you because it was prophetic. And maybe next time I will share it with you. And I was thinking, suddenly I realized that Mark Rothko, he painted dream colors. That's the power of the colors that he painted. It's just astral, it's astral. So it's a really interesting concept to see dreams as art. You know what I mean? Because you're creating, you are telling a story. First of all, it's a movie, it's a short story, it's a poem. So it is artistic, right? And it's amazing. The creativity in the dreams are amazing. And that's something to look at, is an interesting point of view too. When I write a poem inspired by a dream, I always said inspired by a dream, but now I can call it ekphrasis because it's art inspired by art. So it's interesting to look at the dreams as an experience and as an artistic experience. So I'll send you the dream. Maybe next time we can do that. And,
Yes, we will. Let's definitely do your dream. We'll do as soon as Ava and Kat, do you have any final words about it? And then I'm going to turn the
I'm sorry,
recording off.
guys. I have to leave. I'm working on the presentation for the food for Sunday, so I have to finish it tonight.
Okay, perfect.
Thank you
Perfect.
ever so much, Azine.
Sure.
Thank
See
you,
you.
everybody. You've been
I want to
amazing.
say something about she's standing on a wet field with
Yes.
the color of Dahlia's dream when she had a wedding bouquet in wet seeds.
Yes.
And that's an interesting point. There is also a field of seed
Yes.
in this dream, in
The
Kat's
copper.
dream.
Yeah, the copper colored,
Yes,
luminous copper colored
brown
field.
too, brown too. Yes, wet. It was
Yes.
wet.
Yeah. You're saying we would pronounce it wheat, but yeah, it's vet.
Wheat, yes,
Yeah,
okay,
yeah.
of course.
Yeah, but that's
Wheat.
that's in Norwegian, it's vet as well.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, did you have any final comments, Kat, about it?
No,
Or Dawn too?
just thank you ever so much, everyone, for your input. It was amazing. It's just like,
Well, it's,
my God, there's so much.
I mean, I
feeling.
think we could spend 10 sessions on all of these. But now I'm going to turn off the recording here and